Hey, you were so busy on Christmas Day, you missed one of your presents. Brand new episode of Spoonstaff Story was released. Go watch it now.
So, I went and looked at the news again for gorillas, just on a whim.
Wait. There's news for gorillas? Wow, what a time we live in. Everybody gets news. And I can see why you use the gorilla news instead of the Who Man's news. It's probably more on your level, since it's just going to be a bunch of grunts and screeches. Exactly your speed, I am sure, mate.
Seeing if they're putting anything else out there. And I actually saw this article posted.
Let me guess. Something, gorillas are fake. Probably in this case because the lighting on that gorilla is a bit weird, so it must be fake. But we've been through that one before. Like the lady who, in one of many images of her with her giant wiggly boy, well, it looked a bit weird. Therefore, all big snakes are fake. But one or even many pictures of a critter that doesn't look quite right is in no way, shape or form evidence that that thing doesn't reel hands.
Which, I don't know if it's just impeccable timing or what.
No, bad timing, because now I have to make a video on you saying yet another incredibly silly thing on the internet. No one is happy about this, Hans. Least of all me. If you really loved me, you would stop. Well, of course he loves me. Everybody does. You know, because of all the handsome.
Let's just go through this, and I'm going to expose the hoax that is
Hans WormHat's brain. I mean, it stands to reason. Hans thinks, and I use that term very loosely, that pictures of various creatures proves they are fake somehow. But surely, if something doesn't exist, we would expect 0 photos of them. And you know what we have seen 0 photos of? That's right, my brain. Wait a tick.
when people go to Africa and they pay money.
The fools. Everybody knows Africa doesn't exist. It's actually just a cardboard cutout that they put along the horizon to trick passing ships into thinking that the planet is bigger than it is, and thus they will trick everyone else into thinking that the world isn't flat. What's actually there is the ice wall, covered in spikes, mines, and penguins riding polar bears with machine guns.
To go see the gorillas in the forest. It's just a hoax. They're paying money to go see fursuits in the forest.
Really, Hans. There are people in the forests dressed up as gorillas, and that sounds like a more rational explanation for the existence of gorillas to you than there are gorillas that exist. You're a special kind of batshit, aren't you, Hans, bubby?
And I think it's one of those things where if you know the secret, it's much more obvious.
Translation. Confirmation bias is my best friend. That is to say, when you believe something is a particular way and aren't really interested in being proven wrong, then almost everything you see, regardless of how little it relates to or if it makes any sense at all of it will support the fact that you have decided, and nothing anyone does or says is likely to convince you otherwise. Because you wouldn't want to be proven a fool, would you? That would be the worst.
I mean, if you're totally asleep, you might have questions, but they're just the types of questions that you easily snuff out because...
Sleeping people don't tend to ask questions. They're, asleep. Wait, is that the kind of people that you converse with a lot? I mean, that would explain the confidence you have in your opinions. You just keep having these long, drawn-out conversations where you talk at someone who's fast asleep. And when they have no rebuttals to your brilliant points, you quietly declare victory and then sneak out.
It's just too much to think about people lying to you about big things.
Don't pretend you can think, Hans. And these questions that people snuff out, well, like, why the f*** would they have people just hang around in the forest all day instead of having them go see, oh, I don't know, one of the different real animals? Although then again, how long have we been doing these videos? How many animals actually exist according to Hans? As far as I can tell, it's like squirrels and maybe some house pets. Because if he hasn't seen it in person, it doesn't reel. And even if he has, it's a robot, a guy in a suit, or just like a rubber toy. All in the name of doing something nefarious for reasons that don't make any sense. Frankly, that's diabolical. All this time they're wasting when they could literally not do that and achieve the exact same results. When I finally take charge of them, I am going to be changing a few things, I tell you what.
So, let's just get on with it. I mean, one of the... I don't know. I don't remember thinking...
Yes, Hans, let's get on with it. And you don't remember thinking? Damn. Finally, he admits he hasn't done any thinking. It's the first step in a long line of actions that will finally lead you to stop being so goddamn silly. However, it's a shame that he's almost certainly going to try to take that next step and instead fall over backwards right into the pile of trash that is his opinions.
As much about the whole, why do so many people get very up close and personal with gorillas, silverback gorillas?
Because, right, people, especially people with large amounts of wealth apparently, are fucking idiots and hold their ability to say, oh, I did this thing once, that is literally only going to impress people who don't matter, over their not getting torn limb from limb by a pissed off slab of pure muscle and teeth. And I, for one, applaud their efforts to improve the gene pool by taking themselves out of it. Maybe one day humans will actually be tolerable thanks to their sacrifice. Bravo.
Which are supposed to be the biggest and the meanest and the scariest. And they take these pictures that they're smiling, they don't look scared at all. There's a reason that none of these people look scared.
Yeah, it's like I said, idiots. That and these gorillas are probably used to humans. Doesn't truly make them any less dangerous, but they probably get chucked some food and such, so it's not worth the loss of a steady food source for that sweet, sweet pleasure of turning a person inside out and fashioning them into a pair of attractive slippers.
There's a reason they're not scared, because they know it's just a fursuit. There's 1,000,001.
Oh, weird. I genuinely thought you were going to go with, because that's not actually there, but no. And wait, so are you saying that the people who pay a lot of money to go out to these places know that it's just some dudes in a costume? And not only are they okay with that, they're willing to have themselves on record as having been okay with that. Do you see why I think this shit doesn't make any sense, Hans? It's 'cause, and get this right, this shit doesn't make any sense, Hans.
Studio quality images out there of gorillas, and it's because they're not wild animals. It's not hard to take a picture of a fursuit.
Well, it's not really that hard to get a decent picture of an animal, Hans, at least if you're reasonably talented and a professional, but what is quite difficult to do is to make a convincing picture of a wild animal in the wild when all you have is a shitty studio and Keith, the professional pretend gorilla. You know, it might just be easier to go out and get some photos of real ones. Or is this like the movies when cows don't really look like cows and you've got to use horses instead? And of course, if you want to have something that looks like a horse...
Usually we just tape a bunch of cats together.
Bwindi in Impenetrable National Park.
Okay, can't lie, that's an odd name for a place that, according to your excerpt there, has guests. If anything, I can only assume that it is in fact very penetrable. Unless what they mean is you can go, but all their explanations for the things are just absolutely thick with jargon, and you walk away confused as to what anything the guide said even meant.
So I took a bunch of screenshots from this article. I'll link the article in the description. I'll just try to go through.
Oh, hey, would you look at that? He actually linked it. Nice. I mean, and nothing else, because, you know, he's such a professional. You would think for someone so confident in his claims that go against, reality, he might have some kind of sources to these revolutionary ideas. But for some reason, nope. Everything is just coming right out of his quote-unquote brain. Almost like he's making it all up or something.
And point out anything where, to me, it's obvious that it's just completely made-up hoax. You're walking into the forest and then seeing people in fursuits.
It'll be obvious to you because you already know what your answer is. You know what you want to believe, so it's all going to be shocking proof to that effect. Shame that all the things that you want to believe are literally the dumbest things I've ever heard fall out of someone's face hole. But there you go.
So here they talk about the gorilla habitation experience. It's an experience. Experience is just one of those words.
Yeah, it's one of those words with meanings. Someone goes to a place and experiences real gorillas, therefore gorillas are fake because I don't like that they used the word experience accurately, right?
Where they like to talk about, it didn't feel real, it was a magical experience.
Oh, for f***'s sake, they aren't being literal, Hans, and they aren't trying to communicate their secret agenda to you. Because, again, according to you, these people even seem to know they are just going to see some animactors, trademark Sursic, do not steal, and aren't just like, what's the f***ing point? Because what is the f***ing point? If they are not real, no one would go to see them. Least of all in the f***ing jungle, because that would be completely insane.
where visitors trek and spend 4 hours with semi-habituated gorillas. They like to throw out that phrase, semi-habituated.
Well, to be fair, I've not really heard that thrown about much, but habituated means make or become accustomed to or used to something. So semi-habituated would mean they are at least partially used to something. One assumes hanging out around people. So you're saying, in an accusatory way, as if you're making something that is even approaching a point, that they like to use words and phrases accurately. Oh no, how could they, the bastards?
Moving on. So here comes the 33. So let's just read this so that you get kind of an idea of what's going on with this gorilla racket.
I'm sorry, what was even going on with that sentence? What has 33 got to do with anything? Oh, right. Is this one of those numbers and mean conspiracy things? When, if there is ever a number that is apparently important for whatever reason, that means it's the conspiracy number and couldn't possibly just be a coincidence. Especially since they have loads of them at this point. So the chances of there not being a special number in something is practically zero. Almost like they do that shit on purpose to make sure that they always have proof.
Within Bwindi impenetrable forest are 18 gorilla families, and 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6.
You see? It doesn't even have to be one of the numbers. It could be literally any number, so long as you can get to the special number somehow, regardless of how much you are grasping at straws to get there. It's like, well, 77, if you're minus 8, it becomes the sex number. Which is also how many subscribers I hit this month. At least when I made the video. I'm kind of getting far ahead of myself in terms of videos.
They claim that these families have been habituated for gorilla tracking. They don't explain at all how that comes about. How do they pick 18 families?
Dude, that is not the purpose of the article. If it was, it would be called How We Habituated a Bunch of Gorillas. Not everything talking about a thing that exists has to be a comprehensive history of that thing. And I am sure if you use your magical research powers to actually find out how they did it, you could find it. But I bet you won't, because you don't actually want to know. You just want to pretend that that info doesn't exist and carry on smugly asserting your correctness, whilst the world knows that you are actually an utter cretin.
And habituate them. Have you ever heard of anything like this in your life?
Yes. In fact, did you know that there's this top secret thing that everyone on the face of the planet has been doing forever? They've habituated wolves en masse. And now you can barely walk down the high street without seeing someone walking one of these so-called dogs. But I'm onto them. I know it's all fake. 1, wolves aren't real. And 2, even if they were, they're supposed to be very aggressive and dangerous. Therefore, everyone you see walking a dog, well, it's actually a very hairy child walking on all fours. To trick us. For some reason.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a similar scenario where you go to Africa and they're like, oh, we know of 18 different prides of lions and...
Dude, don't think of one. You don't contain all of the knowledge in human history, Hans. I know you probably think you do, but you really, really don't. I would be surprised if you contain more information than is on the back of a packet of crisps. I would say chips for my American viewers, but I can't because over here, chips are fries and those packets are way too big for Hans to comprehend. But yeah, there may well be, but you'll have to actually look. And even if there isn't, for like lions, I imagine that's because lions don't give a fuck.
Today, here you'll see how this works. It's kind of crazy.
No, never. Something you're about to say is kind of crazy. I do not accept that any idea that you could spout would ever, even remotely, dip into the world of madness. That's just not something you would ever do, is it, Hans? You are far too sane and rational for that.
These families are spread over a huge forest that covers 331 square kilometers that is divided into 4 sectors. Every single day, there are 144 gorilla permits available for booking.
You know, just because you read something in an incredulous tone doesn't actually make it sound unreasonable. I mean, listen to this. Sir Sick is handsome, famous, and good at the sex. You should all take him and the things he has to say so seriously, because he's so smart and worth a single second of your time. Actually, do you know what? He's got a point. Fuck Sir Sick.
So every day, there's 144 people that they're able to go out there and show the gorillas to.
Yes, Hans, that's what numbers mean. Like, what's your problem with this? Let me guess. You don't know more than 144 people because you never leave your basement, so that doesn't make any sense. How could more people than exist be able to go on safari? Checkmate, reality.
And I guarantee to you, every single day, they see something.
I bet they don't, but one assumes they either have some kind of refund rain check kind of deal, because imagine paying for that shit and they are like, sorry, can't find any of them today, bye! But yeah, that's their job, to be able to find them, to show them to people. It would be really, really shit safari if they never could. But hell, if they really wanted to show them some apes in their natural environment, they could just show them your channel instead.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the... Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the...